Hello friends, I am CMA Akula Sridhar and welcome to Finance MCQ channel. So friends, in continuation of our practice MCQ series for preparation of BHEL Supervisor Trainee Finance, let's do some more questions and understand some important concepts today as well. So moving on, the first question is, what is meant by horizontal analysis in financial statement analysis? The options are: option A, financial statements over a number of accounting periods are compared. Option B, it measures the relationship of various items in the financial statement of a particular period. Option C, financial statements are presented in horizontal format for analysis. Option D is, financial statements are compared with competitor for analysis. And option A is none of the above. So friends, remember that horizontal analysis means when financial statements over a number of accounting periods are compared. So the correct answer is option A. And what is vertical analysis? So friends, remember that vertical analysis happens when we measure the relationship of various items in the financial statements of a particular period and not over successive periods as in case of horizontal analysis. So moving on, friends, next is, dash is a conclusive evidence that all the requirements of Companies Act have been complied. Option A is certificate of commencement, option B is certificate of incorporation, option C is certificate of practice, and option D is memorandum of understanding, and last option is none of the above. So friends, remember that option B, certificate of incorporation, is a conclusive evidence that all the requirements of Companies Act have been complied. So friends, can a company start business immediately after getting certificate of incorporation? Well, the answer is no. So friends, remember that as per section 10A of Companies Act 2013, for companies having share capital and registered after November 2, 2018, it is mandatory for them to obtain certificate of commencement before commencing any business or exercising any borrowing powers. Moving on, next question is, which of the following is not a feature of current account? So first, option A is no restrictions on withdrawal. Option B, no interest is given. Option C, there is an overdraft facility. Option D, current account is generally opened by a businessman. And last option is, all of the above features of current account are correct. So friends, remember that all of these are features of current account. So the correct option will be option E. Moving on, which of the following duties or taxes are not subsumed after introduction of GST? The options are central excise duty, service tax, property tax, luxury tax, and octroi. So friends, remember that even after introduction of GST, property tax is still there. So the correct answer is option C, property tax. So friends, what all other taxes which are subsumed after introduction of GST are: SAD, that is special additional duties of customs, then state VAT, then central sales tax, then entry tax, then taxes on lotteries, betting, gambling, and even entertainment and amusement tax are also subsumed with the introduction of GST. Moving on, next question, as per the Indian Contract Act, consideration may or must be present only, present or future only, past, present or future, and last option is none of the above. So friends, remember that consideration may be either past or present or future. So let's understand this with an example. Like for example, in case of past consideration, let's take an example. Suppose Rajesh's house is on fire and Ramesh immediately rushed to help him. Then out of gratitude, Rajesh promised to pay him 50,000. So here Rajesh is under moral obligation to compensate Ramesh for his past act. Now if we take an example of present consideration, suppose if I went to a shop and purchased a piece of bread and paid immediately. So that will be an example of present consideration. And as far as future consideration is considered, let's take an example. Suppose Rajesh promised to sell and deliver a costly watch to Shyam after a week, and Shyam also agreed to pay him after receiving the watch. So this will be an example of future consideration where the consideration will be received in future. Moving on. Next question, a location, person or item of equipment or a group of these items for which cost may be ascertained and used for the purpose of control is called, option A is responsibility center, option B is revenue center, option C is cost pool, option D is cost center. So friends, here remember that cost center can be defined as a location, person or item of equipment or a group of these items where cost is ascertained basically to control them. So here the correct answer is option D, that is cost center. So let's understand the other options as well. First is responsibility center. So friends, remember that responsibility center is basically an organizational unit headed by a manager where both cost as well as revenues are allocated, and the manager is responsible for its activities and results of the particular unit which he is heading. And as far as revenue center is considered, here only revenues are allocated. And cost pool, friends, remember that cost pool is basically a department or a service center where common expenditure are pooled. For example, maintenance department, and later on these expenditure are allocated to these departments, and later on these expenditure are allocated to those departments using the services. This is basically done for allocation of overheads to the unit's cost of production. Moving on. Next question is, when auditor has reservation in respect of the matters presented in financial statement as to the truthfulness and fairness of financial statements materiality, he issues which kind of report? Option A is qualified audit report, option B is unqualified audit report, option C is disclaimer of opinion, option D is adverse report, and last option is none of the above. So friends, here the auditor has reservation with respect to certain matters presented in financial statement. So in this case, he will issue a qualified audit report, that is option A. And what are the other options? Let's understand. So first is unqualified audit report. So friends, unqualified audit report is issued by auditor when the books of accounts are free from any defects, while disclaimer of opinion is issued if the auditor fails to obtain the required information and explanation or any books of accounts so as to form an opinion. So in that case, he will issue a disclaimer of opinion. Next is adverse report. So friends, remember that in case of qualified audit report, the auditor has only a reservation with respect to certain matters presented in financial statement. But adverse report is a big red flag. So friends, here the auditor is not at all satisfied with the books of accounts, or he has discovered a high level of material misstatement or irregularities in financial statement. So in this case, adverse report he will be issuing. Moving on. Which of the following is not a network of informal communication? So friends, options are gossip, clusters, probability, single strand, and none of the above. So friends, remember that all of these are networks of informal communication. So the answer will be option E. Now let's understand all these networks of informal communication. So first is gossip. So friends, gossip happens when everyone is talking with each other in a group. And friends, cluster happens when an individual shares the information to a group of individuals. And who will in turn pass on the information to other individuals. And friends, in case of probability, each individual randomly tells another individual some message, while in case of single strand, one individual shares a piece of information to other person, and the other person will go on to communicate it to the other person, and this will go on. So friends, I hope all of these different networks of informal communication is clear by now. Moving on. Friends, next question is, Reserve Bank of India joined NGFS as a member, and what does NGFS stands for? Option A is Network of Commercial Banks and Seniors for Growing the Financial System. Option B is Network of Central Banks and Supervisors for Greening the Financial System. And option C is Network of Central Banks and Supervisors for Growing Financial Statements. And option D is New Central Banks and Specialists for Growing Financial System. And last option, none of the above. So friends, remember that NGFS stands for Network of Central Banks and Supervisors for Greening the Financial System. So the correct answer is option B. And what is NGFS? So friends, remember that NGFS, which consists of more than 80 central banks and supervisors, and it is created in the year 2017 at France. So friends, what do you mean by greening the financial system? So friends, greening the financial system is basically a form of socially responsible investing, where investments are made in companies that support and provide environmentally friendly products and practices. Moving on. Next question. Cross demand is dash in case of substitute goods. Option A is positive, option B is negative, option C is positive or negative, option D is no relation, and last option, none of the above. So friends, here the correct answer is option A, that is positive. So friends, let's understand this with an example of ink pen and ball pen. So a rise in the price of ink pen will lead to the increase in demand of ball pen and vice versa. So that means cross demand will have a positive impact in case of substitute goods. So friends, for more practice of such MCQs, please visit our website financemcq.in, where the entire technical syllabus is brought to you in MCQ format for practice. And friends, this technical syllabus is very important for your selection, as it covers 100 marks out of the total 150 marks of the BHEL Supervisor Trainee Finance exam. So friends, this website financemcq.in presents 2000 plus MCQs covering accountancy, business law, costing, economics, income tax, GST, management in subject-wise or topic-wise format for you to practice. And friends, this content of financemcq.in is prepared by professionals such as chartered accountant or cost and management accountant, which gives this course a professional edge and in-depth coverage of the entire technical syllabus. Friends, we have added explanations for correct answers wherever required for conceptual clarity. And apart from this, there is an email support for clarification of doubts raised by candidates while practicing this contents. And friends, the system of financemcq.in is designed in such a way with timer facility so as to give the candidates a real exam-like environment. So do visit financemcq.in and practice for your technical syllabus well. So see you all tomorrow, friends, with a new set of MCQs. Till then, thank you very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.